I am 90 years old now. My hands tremble a little when I pour tea, and my steps are slower than they used to be. But my memories are sharp, especially the ones that carry regret. Over the last 6 decades, I have shared my home, my food, and my heart with more than 15 cats. I have buried some in the quiet corners of my garden, wrapped in old blankets that still carried their scent. And today, when I look at young people raising cats with so much love but so little understanding, I see them making the exact same tragic, heartbreaking mistakes that I made in my youth. Mistakes that quietly steal years from a cat's life, one day at a time, without anyone noticing until it is too late. You see, when you are young, you believe love is enough. You fill the food bowl, you give a few pats on the head, and you think your duty is done. That is what I believe too. I thought my first cat, a gray fellow named Moti, would live forever simply because I adored him. But one winter morning, he did not wake up. The house felt empty in a way that words cannot explain. I remember sitting on the cold floor, holding his still body, whispering apologies he could no longer hear. That was the day I realized something painful. Loving a cat is not the same as understanding a cat. There are 3 simple rules I learned after losing more companions than I wish to count. 3 quiet habits that can add years to a cat's life, not by magic, not by expensive medicine, but by respecting the way a cat's body and heart truly work. I wish someone had told me this 40 years ago, before I made mistakes that still visit me in my dreams. Today, I want to give you those 3 rules, not as advice from a doctor, but as confessions from an old man who has already paid the price. The first rule is something most people ignore because it cannot be seen. It is not sold in stores, and it does not come in colorful packages. It is peace, a stress-free environment. My dear friend, cats are not like us. We shout, we argue, we rush from place to place, and we think the noise disappears into the air. But to a cat, every loud voice is a thunderclap. Every sudden change is an earthquake. Their hearts beat faster, their bodies stay tense, and slowly, quietly, their health begins to crumble. I learned this lesson from a beautiful white cat named Noor. She came into my life when my children were small, when the house was always filled with noise and running feet. We loved her dearly, but our home was chaos. Doors slammed, furniture moved, visitors came and went. Noor began hiding under the bed more and more. She stopped eating as much. Her fur lost its shine. At the time, I thought she was just shy. I did not understand that she was drowning in stress. Years later, a veterinarian explained something that broke my heart. Chronic stress in cats can weaken their immune system, damage their organs, and shorten their lifespan. It is like living every day in fear. Imagine your heart racing from morning to night, never getting a moment to rest. That is what stress does to a cat, and it often happens in homes filled with love but lacking calm. So now, whenever I visit young families with cats, I tell them gently, create a quiet corner just for your cat. A soft bed, a familiar blanket, a place where no one disturbs them. Speak softly, move slowly, respect their need for peace. Because a calm cat is a healthy cat, and a healthy cat is a cat that stays with you longer than you ever expected. The second rule is one that many people misunderstand because it looks like play, but it is actually medicine. Proper playtime, not once a week, not only when you feel bored, but every single day. I know, life is busy. Work, school, responsibilities. I used to say the same thing. I would toss a toy mouse across the room once or twice and believe I had done enough. But cats are hunters by nature. Their bodies are built to chase, to leap, to stalk. When they do not use those muscles, their bodies grow weak, their minds grow dull, and illness creeps in silently. I remember a chubby orange cat named Sultan who lived with me in my middle years. He was gentle, lazy, and always hungry. I thought his round belly was cute. Visitors would laugh and call him a king. But behind that softness was a problem I refused to see. He barely moved. He slept most of the day. I rarely played with him because I believed he was happy just lying beside me. Then one day, he struggled to climb onto the sofa. His breathing was heavy. The veterinarian told me he was overweight and at risk for serious disease. That was the first time I realized that inactivity can be as dangerous as neglect. A cat without exercise is like a clock without movement. It slowly stops working. After that, I made a promise to every cat who came into my home. 10 to 15 minutes of active play every day, no excuses. A feather toy, a string, even a crumpled piece of paper can become a hunter's prize. You do not need expensive gadgets. You only need your time and attention. And I saw the difference with my own eyes. Cats who played daily stayed slimmer, stronger, and more energetic well into old age. Now we come to the third rule, the one that took me the longest to understand, and the one that carries the heaviest regret in my heart: hydration, water. Such a simple thing, yet so often forgotten. Many cats do not drink enough on their own, especially when they eat dry food. Their bodies become slowly dehydrated, and over time, their kidneys suffer. Kidney disease is one of the most common reasons cats leave us too soon, and in many cases it begins with something as small as an empty water bowl. I lost a gentle tabby named Layla because of this mistake. She was quiet, affectionate, and always stayed close to me in the evenings. I fed her regularly, cleaned her litter box, and believed I was a responsible owner, but I rarely paid attention to how much water she drank. The bowl would sit in the corner, sometimes dusty, sometimes half empty. I thought she would drink when she felt thirsty. One summer afternoon she became weak and refused to eat. Her eyes looked tired, as if she had carried a burden for too long. The veterinarian spoke words I will never forget. Her kidneys were failing. The damage had been building for years, silently, patiently, until it was too late to reverse. I sat beside her that night, listening to her slow breathing, wishing I could turn back time and refill that bowl 1,000 times. From that day forward, I changed everything. Fresh water every morning and every evening. Multiple bowls placed in different rooms. Sometimes I added a little water to wet food to increase moisture. These small habits became sacred rituals in my home, and the cats who followed Layla lived longer, healthier lives because of them. You might be thinking these rules sound too simple. Keep the environment calm, play every day, provide plenty of water, that is all. No secret medicine, no complicated science. But my dear friend, life is often saved by simple things done consistently. The tragedy is not that we lack knowledge. The tragedy is that we ignore the small details until they grow into big problems. I have lived long enough to see the pattern repeat again and again. A loving owner who never meant to cause harm, a cat who trusted them completely, and a quiet illness that stole precious years because the basics were overlooked. That is why I speak with urgency now, not to frighten you, but to wake you up before regret knocks on your door. Look at your cat today. Really look. Notice how they breathe, how they move, how they drink. Notice the sparkle in their eyes and the rhythm of their purr. These tiny signals are messages, whispers, from a creature who depends on you for everything. When you listen to those whispers, you become more than an owner. You become a guardian of life. I do not have many years left ahead of me. My hair has turned white, my friends have grown fewer, and the house is quieter than it once was. But there is still a small gray cat sleeping beside my chair as I speak. Her chest rises and falls gently, and every time I see her peaceful face, I feel grateful for the lessons I learned, even the painful ones, because those lessons gave her a chance to live longer, to stay with me a little while more. So please give your cat a calm home where fear cannot reach them. Give them daily play that keeps their body strong and their spirit alive. Give them fresh water that protects their kidneys and nourishes their life. These three gifts cost almost nothing, yet they can add years to your cat's journey by your side. And when you finish listening to my old voice today, do something simple but powerful. Walk over to your cat, bend down slowly, run your fingers through their fur, and hold them close to your heart. Feel the warmth of their small body and remember that their time with you is precious, fragile, and far too short. If my old memories helped you today, stay with me. Keep listening, keep learning, and share these lessons with others who love their cats as deeply as you do. Because every extra year you give your cat is a year filled with purrs, soft footsteps, and quiet companionship. And at my age, I can tell you with certainty, those years are worth more than anything in this world.